So today we are actually going to talk about the brand new Testro X. Now, this will be a product video. I want to highlight kind of the story behind Testro X and why we ended up formulating this really great supplement. And so the first thing to know is that over the last, Ali and I have been teaching testosterone enhancement and as independent researchers for about 4 years now online, and many supplement companies, many test booster companies have reached out to us asking us specifically to do a couple things that we haven't done at all. But they would ask us either to formulate a supplement for them, because most, if not all, of these other test booster companies, anything you go search on Amazon or on Google, almost everything you're going to find contains ingredients that are just kind of Me Too copycat ingredients, where the supplement company is actually not run by it's not run by a person who knows anything about test boost or testosterone enhancement and natural testosterone optimization. So they make a couple crucial mistakes typically, or they just have like the terrible products. There are so many terrible products in the test booster space that for the longest time, Ali and I just kind of shunned the whole idea of test boosters in general, until recently when we said, okay, how about we just make our own and make it really amazing, which we're gonna talk about here in a minute. But either they wanted us to formulate a supplement for them, or they wanted us to promote their supplement on our site, which also is not going to happen, because like we said, everything that is out there is complete garbage. It's just crap, because it's made by people they're not educated on what they're putting into it. They just put stuff into it and call it a test booster because they know, people buy test boosters. And then the third thing is and we've definitely never done this, is people have asked us to bash their competitors. You have these companies that come in and they say, hey, can you bash our competitors? Can you talk about how bad this other test booster is or whatever? Because when people search in Google for that thing, it's going to come up far above everything else, because these guys don't even have websites, most of them, or they have some 1 or 2 page website with just some scammy looking order form on it. They've asked us to do one of these 3 things. We've never done any of these things, but we kind of got into, we were thinking about it, and we were saying, well, there's a lot of, after doing years of research on this, and this kind of took years of research to figure out exactly what we wanted to do to make the perfect formula. But after years, we said, okay, there is so much garbage out there, and there are so many people buying this garbage. It's terrible stuff. It does nothing to increase your testosterone levels, or there are certain ingredients in it that will increase your testosterone levels at the cost of other things, like also increasing your estrogen or decreasing and inhibiting DHT conversion. So, which I'll tell you those ingredients here in a minute, the ones you should be avoiding in test boosters. But when it comes to the perfect formula, we strongly believe that Testro X is an ideal of the perfect formula for testosterone boosting. And I'll explain each of the ingredients here in a minute. We decided not to include any of the following supplements. And I'm also going to be doing videos on these supplements, so you can check out on the YouTube channel. There will be a video on each of these other supplements as well. The first one is Tribulus. It really has no convincing human evidence showing increases in testosterone levels. But if you look, almost every test booster on the market has Tribulus in it, because it's kind of turned into this whole Me Too thing where they look at one study, and then it gets perpetuated on the bodybuilding forums or whatever, where people just think, oh, because someone else said Tribulus works, that it does work, and so on and so forth, but it doesn't. So we didn't want to have Tribulus in it. Tribulus is not a good option. Maca root is also not a good option. Maca is an aphrodisiac. It is not. It's a good superfood or a good food that you could consume and it'll help with your libido, but it has no convincing evidence showing increases in testosterone. And if you're formulating a test booster, if you're formulating a testosterone boosting, compound or formula, you have to have stuff in it that will increase testosterone, not just be an aphrodisiac with no actual increase in testosterone. So maca, we did not want to include maca in it. The next one is fenugreek. Now, fenugreek has research showing increases in testosterone levels. However, it will increase your testosterone production, or it'll increase serum testosterone levels by inhibiting DHT conversion, which for those people who know that, who know what DHT is and why it's important, you would not want to sacrifice your DHT levels just to have more circulating testosterone. Because that testosterone, you hear a lot about people that will inhibit DHT production to get more testosterone unknowingly, because most people, if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't do it. But they feel crappy. They feel bad. You're not going to feel good. You might have higher testosterone levels, but your DHT is taking a massive hit, so you're not going to feel good. So that is not a good way to do it, especially when there are other good options. The next one is saw palmetto, and you see that in a ton of test boosters and in prostate health supplements. But saw palmetto has a lot of negative side effects, but it also, like fenugreek, it also inhibits DHT. So we said we're not doing that. So we're not going to put tribulus, maca, saw palmetto, or fenugreek in it. We're also not going to put D-aspartic acid in it, because contrary to what, D-aspartic acid had basically this huge uptick in people, there was a studies came out, and even here we write about it on Anabolic Men, how at first it looked very convincing as a test booster, but then more follow-up research came out showing no effects on testosterone, even a decrease in testosterone levels actually in humans by using D-aspartic acid. So the evidence is so conflicting with it that we said it's not worth even touching. It's not convincing. We need to build something where the formula is extremely convincing based on human research, and it does work. It actually works, because that's when you make a product, you want to make the best product. You want to make something that there's no competition to, where everything in it, it's actually going to work. People are going to take it, they're going to feel the good results because it does work in humans. So here's what we did include on the formula, which we'll go through each of these here, and I'll show you some of the research on it. We're also in the video here, we're going to link to an article. If you want to go through all the studies, you can look at all the studies on all of these things. But the first thing is magnesium. Now, magnesium benefits testosterone production in a lot of ways. First off, it is one of the main micronutrients that your body needs as a building block to help fuel testosterone production. It also will greatly reduce, and there's a lot of evidence on this, it's going to reduce circulating levels of SHBG. Now, one of the pitfalls of a lot of these crappy test boosters on the market is that they only look at, like we've seen with fenugreek and saw palmetto, they only look at trying to only increase circulating testosterone levels, even if it's at the expense of other things, like inhibiting DHT or increasing estrogen or decreasing free testosterone. So we wanted to build a supplement that helped increase free testosterone by decreasing SHBG levels, which is sex hormone binding globulin. SHBG binds to circulating testosterone and makes it so they can't bind to receptor sites. So having lower SHBG levels will increase the amount of bioavailable testosterone in your body, and magnesium will achieve that end. And but we also wanted to make sure that none of the ingredients in it were actively inhibiting DHT conversion. So basically, you're going to have, with the Testro X formula, you're going to have healthy DHT levels, you're going to have healthy serum testosterone levels, and you're going to have healthy free testosterone levels. Now, magnesium supplementation and high magnesium levels in blood serum are consistently linked to some things here, and we're going to show you these studies. First off, higher free testosterone in test tube studies. That's the first thing. So that in and of itself is not indicative of good evidence. However, we're going to look at the rest. The next thing is higher free testosterone levels in exercising men, which most people watching this exercise in some capacity. Higher testosterone levels in elderly males. So we get this question all the time here at Anabolic Men. Guys are, hey, I'm over 40, or I'm over 50, or I'm over 60. Can I still see increases in my testosterone levels by using certain supplementation or nutrition or training? And the answer is yes. It's not just you magically cross some threshold where nothing works for you anymore. So this study helps to reiterate that. With the proper magnesium supplementation, you're going to see higher T levels in elderly males. There's also there's a review here that shows a big positive correlation with all anabolic hormones, and deficiency in magnesium, as expected, is linked to low testosterone levels. So we have the right amount of bioavailable form of magnesium here in Testro X. Now the next thing is zinc gluconate. which is very bioavailable form of zinc. It's without a doubt the most important mineral that men need in their body for healthy testosterone production. It's responsible for tons of things in the body, but we're going to just focus here on hormonal optimization. Now, zinc supplementation, you can see on the study here, they found that it does correlate with higher total and free testosterone and thyroid hormones in exercising men. The supplementation also results here in this study in higher total T, free T, and thyroid hormones T3 and T4 in sedentary subjects. So whether you're sedentary or training consistently, you're going to see an increase in all these biomarkers by taking zinc. Correcting zinc deficiency has been found to lead to rapid and significant increases in both testosterone and DHT levels. So here again, we're supporting DHT. Animal studies have found zinc supplementation to elevate LH levels, testosterone levels, and thyroid hormone levels. Again, an LH is very important for signaling to the Leydig cells in your testes to increase testosterone production. And this study noticed that zinc deficiency led to a 59% reduction in androgen receptors, and 36% of those were in the testicles. So you do not want to be deficient in zinc. Now we pick zinc gluconate because it has the lowest levels of cadmium, which is a heavy metal that's found in other quality zinc supplements. There's a lot of cadmium in those, and zinc gluconate has the absolute least amount of cadmium possible, and it's very bioavailable. Now the next thing that we put in is one of our favorite ingredients. Is called ashwagandha, and we used the KSM66 ashwagandha, which has double the withanolide content, which is the active ingredient in ashwagandha, has double the active ingredient concentration as any other kind of ashwagandha. So we put organic KSM66 ashwagandha in here at 400 milligrams, which is a very healthy dose, and it's something where you could take 400 milligrams and not get super tired. So ashwagandha is basically an anti-stress. It's an adaptogen. It will fight the free radical stress in your body, and it has a mountain of research showing positive hormonal benefits. So right here you can see several studies have actually found reduced feelings of stress as well as significantly lower cortisol levels in response to supplementing with ashwagandha. It's also here, you can see it's been associated with significant increases in sperm quality and lower testosterone, and increases in sperm quality and increases in testosterone levels on infertile subjects. So if you have really low testosterone levels, if you're infertile, you can see a massive increase in just as little as 90 days by taking ashwagandha, KSM66. And in this non-sponsored peer-reviewed study with 57 young healthy male subjects, ashwagandha supplementation alone as a control was able to increase average testosterone levels from 630 to 726 nanograms per deciliter, which is a really good increase for just one ingredient. And that's not even to mention all the other ingredients that, if you have a good formula, that you'd be consuming. Now the next thing in it is forskolin. So forskolin, basically, you may have heard it, or I don't know if guys have ever watched Dr. Oz, but forskolin was a craze a couple years ago. Dr. Oz kind of made it into a thing about weight loss or appetite suppressant or whatever. So it might get a bad name. However, they started studying forskolin in respect to hormones. Actually has some amazing hormonal benefits. So you don't need to take it for as like a fat burner or whatever, but we put it in here because it is one of the most convincing herbs or leaf extracts for natural testosterone enhancement. So you can see right here, it's well known for increasing levels of intracellular cyclic AMP. And the increase in cyclic AMP is known for not only a stimulatory effect on testosterone production, which will show, study here, some evidence, but also for androgen receptor activation. So this is going to help increase both the testosterone production and the androgen receptor sites in your body. In cell culture studies, you can see here that it's been linked to a significant and consistent increase in testosterone. And in this study right here, 250 milligrams of forskolin was able to increase testosterone levels by 33% when compared to a placebo. So we put that dosage, we put the 250 milligrams here in Testro X. forskolin is a very convincing ingredient, natural ingredient with good evidence behind it for increasing and helping with this end, achieving this end of higher testosterone levels. Now the next thing is boron. We talk a lot about boron here on Anabolic Men, and we put 10 milligrams of boron per serving of boron citrate, which is very bioavailable, absorbs well. The 10 milligrams is a really healthy dose. It's a perfect amount. And you might not have heard about boron before, but it's basically has another mountain of research behind it in dose-dependent linear increases in testosterone levels. And in this study right here, you can see at only 6 milligrams of boron for 2 months was associated with a nice almost 30% increase in testosterone levels in these humans, in these males. And 10 milligrams of boron for 7 days was able to increase free testosterone by 28%, reduce estrogen by 39%, and boost DHT levels by 10%. So that's how much we put in here. Per serving, we put 10 milligrams in here. And again, that increases free testosterone in 7 days. This increases free testosterone by 28%, reduces estrogen by almost 40%, increases DHT by 10%. So that alone is going to help you. Now we have another blend of supplements in here. It's not listed as a blend, but we're talking about it as a blend of inositol, glycine, and L-theanine. At the right dosages, we call it the LH surge. So LH, like I said before, signals to your Leydig cells to produce testosterone. And so you want to have a healthy circulating LH level. So we took inositol, which is and we're going to put this study right here. It's a precursor that's needed for the natural synthesis of GnRH, which is a gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which signals to release LH production and stimulate LH production. So inositol, we have 200 milligrams of inositol in here. And we also include 100 milligrams of L-theanine, which excites GABA neurons in the brain, which release, again, downstream GnRH. So L-theanine. And then glycine, which at 200 milligrams, this increases the pulsatile release of GnRH. So all of these things are linked with evidence in humans to increasing GnRH production, which upregulates and stimulates LH production to go produce testosterone. The last thing is that we just included the minimum viable amount of bioperine, which is just black pepper extract, which is known to increase the absorption of all of these ingredients. So we just included a small amount. You don't need to take a lot of it, but just enough so that it will help all of these ingredients absorb properly into your body. So in conclusion, this is all the evidence for it. And you can go over to anabolicmen.com and read all these studies for yourself, but Testro X is the best testosterone boosting formula on the market. A lot of thought went into this product development, and every single ingredient in it has a purpose, and it has human research and human evidence backing up all the claims. And you can see that even something like the 10 milligrams of boron for 7 days having such great benefits, also the KSM66 ashwagandha having such great benefits over short periods of time. When you stack these all together, you basically have a super supplement. So that's why we recommend as the cornerstone of any kind of supplementation that you're going to be doing to increase your testosterone levels and help with healthy DHT, healthy free testosterone by lowering SHBG levels, lowering estrogen levels. We highly recommend Testro X as the cornerstone. And this is it's meant to be a one-stop shop kind of thing where as a test booster, it's got a stack of 9 things in it that will all help you increase your testosterone levels and optimize your male hormones. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.